This is the Jocko Underground podcast with Echo Charles and me, Jocko Willink. And okay, we are a part of society. Mm-hmm. No way to get around that, right? Even if you're living out in the middle of nowhere, you are going to have to brush up against society. So we've got this thing going on right now, probably at a scale that's never gone on before, in my opinion, and that is the world of advertising right now, just constantly trying to capitalize on human beings' desire for immediate gratification. Mm-hmm. And what can we do to protect ourselves, our friends, the people we know, against this onslaught of just of advertising and attention seeking that's out there for us? I'm going to go ahead and start off. This is one of those. Tell us the story for the 474th time about the book Mind Games.
Oh, yeah, Mind Games.
And how it made you feel like you shouldn't lose your temper and the kind of trick you played on yourself. Because I think this is a similar thing.
Yeah, okay. Mind Games, Mike Powell, by the way, is the author. So it's not a book like what you'd think, just to clarify. It's not like this. It's like a book with these teeny tiny short chapters that are, some are just little puzzles, some are this, and then some are little explanations and stuff. Anyway, one of them was anger management or losing your temper, something like that. I forget which chapter it was, but it was about anger management. And in there, it said a lot of things, but one of the main things was that like people with a short temper or people who get angry really easily usually comes from low self-esteem. And that was always like a shameful thing growing up. Just, in school they teach you self-esteem or whatever. And I always thought to myself, how can someone have low self-esteem? That's kind of embarrassing to like have low self-esteem. I didn't even know really what it was. It just sounded real bad. So for whatever reason, that was ingrained in me where it's like, if you can avoid displaying that you have low self-esteem, you should avoid that. I've always thought that or whatever. So yeah, when it said that, I was like, and it made sense too. And
you used to have a bad temper?
No, never. I never had a bad temper.
You used to get angry? You used to show anger?
Yeah, more loosely. So, I mean, no.
So why was this a big deal?
Because it said the word self-esteem. So to me, I overkilled it. And I was like, anytime you get angry, you just have low self-esteem.
Got it.
And I went back to work just preaching it to everybody, like all the bouncers or whatever, like where it's like, yeah, man, if you get, and think about it, because they explain it. It doesn't just say that and then move on. It explains everything, whatever. Talking about controlling your environment and like all this stuff, right? So it just hit me real hard. And to me, I took it as, hey, if you get mad, even though it says in there, anger is a natural part of life, all this stuff. I took it as like, yeah, if you get mad and openly display your anger, you have low self-esteem. That's how it landed on my brain.
The way you've told me that story before is like you played a trick on yourself of like, oh, if I get angry, that means I have low self-esteem and I'm not going to be that guy.
Exactly right.
So I think here, this is an opportunity for us to play a trick on ourselves or use that same methodology to say, oh, if I'm actually allowing this stuff to influence me, I have a weak mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. If you can't get off your phone, if you can't put down stop scrolling, if you can't do that, your freaking mind is weak and it's being invaded. Yeah. It's being invaded by someone that's smarter and stronger than you and is taking advantage of your weakness.
Playing you for a sucker.
As we used to say.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So I think that's what you got to do. You got to take a step back. You got to recognize what's happening, and you got to realize you can't let it happen. You got to get some control back and not allow these. To me, when we talk about advertising, we're just talking about social media now. I mean, have you ever watched a show in the last? Well, when's the last time you watched a show where you had to watch a commercial, like the Super Bowl, maybe?
Yeah.
Right, because everyone does streaming or on demand. So DVR. It's not like the old days where you were kind of subjected. When I was a little kid, you were subjected to advertisements because you were watching a show. You were freaking addicted to that little TV set. Saturday morning cartoons, and they were going to play the whatever advertisement on there to get you to buy whatever. But it was it was involuntary.
Yeah.
You were subjected to it. Now, I mean, I even have YouTube Red or YouTube Premium.
Premium, sure. Yeah.
And when I go on someone that doesn't have YouTube Premium, I get mad.
Brutal.
Like I think I don't get mad, but I think this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I think YouTube Premium is $10 a month. Actually, I think it was $9.99 when I signed, but they jacked that price up now. It's like $13 now. But so I'm not even subjected to advertisements on YouTube. By the way, that's amazing. When you have no advertisements on YouTube, people. When I suffer through someone else's YouTube right now, and they click on a video to watch it, and they got to watch a 30-second ad or whatever. I think, what are you doing? What a waste of time. What are you doing? So I'm not subjected to it there. So really, the place you get subjected to it is social media. And you click on this thing, or the thing pops up, and it just happens to be algorithmically connected to something that you searched yesterday. And it's just, isn't that strange? You'll search for something, and then it just pops up all day long.
Oh, yeah. Related stuff, too.
So what do you need to do? Detach, take a step back, see that you're being tricked, and don't allow yourself to be tricked. That's the way I look at it.
Yep, straight up trick. And here's the thing. I mean, good. Thank you for that advice. But as like most things, bro, it goes deep. It goes deep, and it goes so deep that it's not all bad. Like, appropriate advertising is good for you and your goals. Like, if I want to,
don't you like watching YouTube commercials?
Sometimes, yeah.
You got issues.
I like sometimes watching. My daughter's the same way. Where, well, here's the thing, and that's another trick too, by the way. But it's not a trick against me. It's a trick for me in a way. Where, if you notice, commercials now are like, they're fun to watch. Like, they're clever commercials. It's not like old school back in the day commercials where it's like, oh, freaking buy this sponge, you know. Yeah. But it's different now they're entertaining. Now they got celebrities in there. Now they got jokes. Now they got humor. They got special effects. They got, like, bro, it's entertaining. Commercials are entertaining. I
realize now right now that you're talking about your own commercials for Jocko Fuel.
Sometimes,
with special effects.
I'm just saying that's part of the game now.
That's the entertaining commercials of which you speak.
Hell yeah. I think so.
Oh,
nonetheless,
busted.
That's how it is nowadays. And then what is it, advertising versus marketing?
I like watching your commercials too.
Thanks, Jocko. Thanks, Jocko. AD, assistant director. I don't know if there is a difference, advertising and marketing. I don't know what's what, but nonetheless, we'll just.
I don't know. K-Dog's over here nodding his head like you just struck gold.
Right?
So
yeah.
I don't know.
It's different.
I don't know the difference.
So let's just say marketing, because really that's kind of essentially what we're talking about. Where, and it's ever sure an actual advertisement will be played on this and there, and you click here and whatever. That's an actual advertisement. But marketing is freaking deep, and it goes super deep. So, like, if I see you wearing a XYZ shirt and I like you and I look up to you, you just marketed that XYZ shirt to me. Even though you just wore it because it was comfortable and you didn't even know anyone was going to see you that day. But that's marketing already, because it influenced me to see value in that shirt, because I look up to you. If it's good enough for you, it's damn for sure good enough for me. See what I'm saying? Effective marketing right there. And that's just like a branding kind of situation. But you can go like, look, if I'm looking for freaking books on how to improve my freaking archery, right? And one is like talking about the trigger, or I don't know. I'm just making up these terms. I shot a bow and arrow the other day. Anyway, and I find a book and I'm like, cool, this is a good one. And then I go online again and it shows me another book, because it obviously the algorithm, determined that I'm obviously looking for books to improve my archery. It's going to show me another one. That helps me with my goal. Like, it helps me. Mm-hmm. So advertising can help, of course, the companies that are advertising, whatever, but it helps me too. So you got to kind of discern like what's helping me and what's just luring me and using me as a pawn overall, So it's like, yeah, how you said, like, yeah, it plays off your immediate gratification. Sure. Yes, it does. And those are the ones you want to like avoid. You know how they'll get the perfectly manicured hamburger with the glistening, and it's CGI, by the way. It's not even a real hamburger. It's like a computer hamburger, but it looks so good, And they'll show it to you at a certain time, like right before lunch, 11 a.m., something like this, because they know lunch is coming up. See what I'm saying? Or they'll put certain colors on certain advertisements that like are proven, apparently, I don't know, but apparently they're proven to make you more hungry. Like, I guess red and yellow, it's like makes you more hungry.
Like tiger stripe.
No, bro, no. Red and yellow apparently makes you more hungry. Bro, That's what I heard. Nonetheless, it goes deep, but I'm saying advertising not all bad. That's the hard part. Yeah. So you got to navigate.
I think you should definitely set up some filters in your brain and try not to click on things. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But yours is super simple because you're like function straight up.
Yeah.
Anything after that is all extra credit.
Well, I was looking at one of my kids' grams.
Sure.
And they had advertisements every third or fourth scroll. Do you know what I'm saying? So every third or fourth thing that they would scroll past was an advertisement.
And that was on when you said your kids.
That was on my daughter's phone.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, because I don't have barely any advertisements on mine. Barely any.
I wonder why that is.
I think it's because I never click on anything. I don't click like. I don't like anybody's thing.
Huh.
I don't share anything. I'm just like a damn monk on Instagram.
Instagram monk over here.
I'm not sending out them little hearts.
Yeah.
And I think that must have something to do with it.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Because that's true. Because all like
how many advertisements do you get? Do you think?
I'm not bombarded with them, but they're part of my experience every single time for sure.
I'm actually surprised when I see one. I'll be like, there's one. I'll be like, what's that? Oh, it's a sponsored thing. And because it always looks weird to me anyways, because it's something that I'm not. I think the algorithm has a hard time figuring me out anyways. It sort of doesn't know what to send my way.
Yeah. Because it would make sense, and I don't know how these algorithms work specifically, but it would make sense where, like, you know how you're scrolling, and after a while, like, especially when you're not like all into it, you're just scrolling for something that really catches your eye for whatever reason. So I wonder, it has to be monitoring how much, like, let's say you're just scrolling and then you pause on one.
Does. Yep. Yeah. It does. It monitors all that stuff. Every little move you make, it's monitoring.
Sneaky.
And I wish I could think of this. I clicked on a YouTube video the other day, and you got to remember, for me, that's nothing. No investment whatsoever because I don't have to watch an advertisement.
Right.
So I clicked on a YouTube video, and it was something so stupid. I can't remember what it is, but the freaking top. That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to JockoUnderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us, strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's JockoUnderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@JockoUnderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.